Welcome to Passion Travel. Explore world street food, captivating vlogs, and inspiring journeys with us. Subscribe to experience adventure in every video. Crepes, thin pancakes filled with sweet or savory fillings like Nutella, cheese, or ham. Recipe for making crepes along with the ingredients and preparation instructions. Ingredients: 1 cup all-purpose flour, 2 large eggs, 1¼ cups milk, 2 tablespoons melted butter, 1 tablespoon sugar, optional, 1/4 teaspoon salt. Additional butter or oil for cooking. Instructions: prepare the batter. In a mixing bowl, whisk together the flour, sugar, if using, and salt. Make a well in the center of the dry ingredients and crack the eggs into it. Gradually pour in the milk while whisking continuously to form a smooth batter. Add the melted butter and whisk until well incorporated. Let the batter rest for about 15 to 30 minutes. This allows the flour to fully hydrate and results in smoother crepes. Cook the crepes. Heat a non-stick skillet or crepe pan over medium heat. You can also lightly grease the skillet with butter or oil if needed. Once the skillet is hot, pour a small ladleful of batter into the center of the skillet. Quickly tilt the skillet in a circular motion to spread the batter evenly across the bottom, forming a thin crepe. Cook the crepe for about 1 to 2 minutes until the edges start to lightly brown and the surface appears set. Using a spatula, gently flip the crepe and cook for an additional 1 to 2 minutes on the other side until lightly golden. Transfer the cooked crepe to a plate and cover with a clean kitchen towel to keep warm. Repeat the process with the remaining batter, stacking the cooked crepes on top of each other. Serve. Crepes can be served with a variety of fillings and toppings, both sweet and savory. Some popular options include Nutella and sliced bananas, lemon and sugar, ham and cheese, or sautéed mushrooms with spinach and cheese. Fold or roll the crepes around the fillings of your choice and serve warm. Gaufres, Belgian-style waffles, often served with powdered sugar or chocolate sauce. Recipe for making Belgian-style waffles, gaufres. Ingredients: 2 cups all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons granulated sugar, 2 large eggs separated, 1 3/4 cups milk, ½ a cup unsalted butter melted, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Instructions: preheat the waffle iron. Preheat your waffle iron according to the manufacturer's instructions. Prepare the batter. In a large mixing bowl, sift together the flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar. In another bowl, whisk together the egg yolks, milk, melted butter, and vanilla extract until well combined. Gradually pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients, stirring until just combined. Do not overmix, a few lumps are okay. In a separate clean bowl, beat the egg whites with a hand mixer or stand mixer until stiff peaks form. Gently fold the beaten egg whites into the batter until evenly incorporated. Cook the waffles. Spray the preheated waffle iron with non-stick cooking spray or brush with melted butter. Pour an appropriate amount of batter onto the center of the waffle iron, spreading it slightly toward the edges. Close the waffle iron and cook according to the manufacturer's instructions until the waffles are golden brown and crispy. Carefully remove the cooked waffles from the waffle iron and transfer them to a wire rack to cool slightly or serve immediately. Serve. Serve the freshly cooked waffles warm with your favorite toppings such as maple syrup, fresh fruit, whipped cream, chocolate sauce, or powdered sugar. Enjoy your delicious homemade Belgian-style waffles. Frites, crispy French fries served with various sauces like mayo, ketchup, or aioli. Recipe for making delicious French fries, frites, at home. Ingredients: for large potatoes, russet or Yukon Gold are great for fries. Vegetable oil, for frying. Salt, to taste. Instructions: prepare the potatoes. Wash and peel the potatoes. Cut them into even-sized sticks, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. You can also use a French fry cutter for uniform fries. Soak the potatoes. Place the cut potatoes in a large bowl of cold water. Let them soak for at least 30 minutes to remove excess starch. This helps the fries become crispier when fried. Dry the potatoes. Drain the soaked potatoes and pat them dry thoroughly with paper towels or a clean kitchen towel. Moisture on the surface of the potatoes will cause splattering when frying. Preheat the oil. In a deep fryer or a large, heavy-bottomed pot, heat vegetable oil to 325 degrees Fahrenheit 165 degrees Celsius. You'll need enough oil to fully submerge the fries. First fry. Carefully add a handful of dried potato sticks to the hot oil. Fry them in batches to avoid overcrowding the pot, which can lower the oil temperature. Fry the potatoes for about 3 to 4 minutes, until they are cooked through but not yet golden brown. Remove the partially cooked fries from the oil using a slotted spoon or spider strainer, and transfer them to a paper towel-lined baking sheet to drain. Increase the heat. Increase the oil temperature to 375 degrees Fahrenheit 190 degrees Celsius. This higher temperature will crisp up the fries and give them a golden exterior. Second fry. Once the oil reaches the higher temperature, add the partially cooked fries back to the oil in batches. Fry the potatoes for an additional 2 to 3 minutes, or until they are golden brown and crispy. Again, remove the fries from the oil using a slotted spoon or spider strainer, and transfer them to a paper towel-lined baking sheet to drain. Season and serve. While the fries are still hot, season them generously with salt to taste. Serve the freshly fried French fries immediately, alongside your favorite dipping sauces such as ketchup, mayonnaise, or aioli. Quiche, a savory pastry filled with eggs, cheese, and various fillings like ham or vegetables. Recipe for making a classic quiche Lorraine. Ingredients: 1 pie crust, store-bought or homemade. 6 slices bacon, diced. 1 small onion, finely chopped. 1 cup shredded Gruyere or Swiss cheese. 4 large eggs. 1 cup heavy cream. Salt and pepper, to taste. Pinch of nutmeg, optional. 1 tablespoon butter, for greasing. Instructions. Preheat the oven. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit 190 degrees Celsius. Place a baking sheet in the oven to preheat as well. This will help cook the bottom of the quiche evenly. Prepare the crust. If using a store-bought pie crust, follow the package instructions for pre-baking or use a homemade crust. Press the crust into a 9-inch pie dish, trimming any excess dough and crimping the edges. Prick the bottom of the crust with a fork to prevent air bubbles from forming during baking. Cook the bacon and onion. In a skillet over medium heat, cook the diced bacon until crispy. Remove the bacon from the skillet and drain on a paper towel-lined plate. In the same skillet with the bacon drippings, sauté the chopped onion until soft and translucent. Remove from heat. Assemble the quiche. Sprinkle the cooked bacon and sautéed onion evenly over the bottom of the pie crust. Sprinkle the shredded cheese on top. Prepare the custard mixture. In a mixing bowl, whisk together the eggs, heavy cream, salt, pepper, and nutmeg, if using, until well combined. Bake the quiche. Carefully pour the egg mixture over the bacon, onion, and cheese in the pie crust. Place the quiche on the preheated baking sheet in the oven and bake for 35 to 40 minutes, or until the custard is set and the top is golden brown. Cool and serve. Once baked, remove the quiche from the oven and let it cool for a few minutes before slicing. Serve warm or at room temperature, garnished with fresh herbs if desired. Macarons, colorful almond meringue cookies filled with ganache or buttercream. Recipe for making classic French macarons. Ingredients. For the macaron shells: 1 cup, 100 g, almond flour. 1 3/4 cups, 200 g, powdered sugar. 3 large egg whites, at room temperature. 1/4 cup, 50 g, granulated sugar. Gel food coloring, optional. For the filling: Your choice of fillings such as buttercream, ganache, or jam. Instructions. Prepare baking sheets. Line 2 baking sheets with parchment paper or silicone baking mats. Prepare the almond mixture. In a food processor, pulse together the almond flour and powdered sugar until well combined and finely ground. Sift the mixture through a fine mesh sieve into a large mixing bowl. Discard any larger almond pieces that remain. Whip the egg whites. In a clean, dry mixing bowl, beat the egg whites with a hand mixer or stand mixer until foamy. Gradually add the granulated sugar, a little at a time, while continuing to beat the egg whites. Beat the egg whites until stiff peaks form and the mixture is glossy. If adding food coloring, gently fold it into the meringue at this stage. Macaronage. Add about 1/3 of the almond mixture to the beaten egg whites. Using a silicone spatula, gently fold the almond mixture into the egg whites until just combined. This is called the macaronage process. Continue adding the remaining almond mixture in 2 more additions, folding gently until the batter is smooth and falls off the spatula in ribbons. Be careful not to overmix. Pipe the macarons. Transfer the macaron batter into a piping bag fitted with a round tip. Pipe small circles of batter onto the prepared baking sheets, spacing them about 1 inch apart. Tap the baking sheets firmly against the counter a few times to release any air bubbles and help the macarons spread slightly. Rest and preheat. Let the piped macarons rest at room temperature for about 30 minutes to form a skin. They should feel dry to the touch. Meanwhile, preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius. Bake the macarons. Once the macarons have rested, place them in the preheated oven and bake for 15 to 18 minutes. Saucisson Sec, dry-cured sausage often served sliced with bread or cheese. Saucisson Sec is a type of dry-cured French sausage, typically made from pork. Here's a simple guide on how to enjoy it. How to serve saucisson Sec. Slice thinly, use a sharp knife to slice the Saucisson Sec thinly. Aim for slices that are about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick. Serve as a snack, arrange the sliced Saucisson Sec on a platter or cutting board along with some crusty bread, crackers, or breadsticks. It pairs well with a variety of cheeses, olives, and pickles. In sandwiches or baguettes, add slices of Saucisson Sec to sandwiches or baguettes for a flavorful and satisfying addition. It can be enjoyed with mustard, mayonnaise, or your favorite sandwich condiments. Charcuterie board includes Saucisson Sec as part of a charcuterie board spread along with other cured meats, cheeses, fruits, nuts, and spreads. It adds a savory element to the assortment. Cooking. While Saucisson Sec is typically enjoyed as is, you can also incorporate it into cooked dishes. It can be diced and added to omelets, quiches, pasta dishes, or salads for added flavor. Wine pairing. Saucisson Sec pairs wonderfully with a glass of French wine, such as a robust red like Syrah or Grenache, or a dry white wine like Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc. Store properly. Keep Saucisson Sec stored in a cool, dry place. Once opened, wrap it tightly in plastic wrap or aluminum foil and store it in the refrigerator. It can also be hung in a well-ventilated area. Crostini, toasted bread slices topped with various spreads like tapenade or goat cheese. Crostini are small, toasted bread slices, typically served as an appetizer or snack. Here's how you can make them. Ingredients: baguette or Italian bread, olive oil, salt and pepper. Toppings of your choice, such as cheese, cured meats, vegetables, spreads, or herbs. Instructions. Preheat the oven. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 degrees Celsius. Slice the bread. Slice the baguette or Italian bread into thin slices, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. Brush with olive oil. Place the bread slices on a baking sheet in a single layer. Lightly brush each slice with olive oil on both sides. This helps them toast evenly and adds flavor. Season the bread slices with a sprinkle of salt and pepper if desired. Toast in the oven. Place the baking sheet in the preheated oven and toast the bread slices for about 8 to 10 minutes, or until they are golden brown and crisp. Keep an eye on them to prevent burning. Optional, rub with garlic. For added flavor, you can rub each toasted bread slice with a cut garlic clove while they are still warm. This infuses the crostini with a subtle garlic flavor. Add toppings. Once the crostini are toasted, you can add your desired toppings. This can include a variety of ingredients such as cheese, cured meats like prosciutto or salami, roasted vegetables, spreads like pesto or tapenade, fresh herbs, or even fruit preserves for a sweet option. Serve. Arrange the crostini on a platter and serve them warm or at room temperature. They can be served as is or as part of a larger appetizer spread.